Okay, so back here, finished work early, managed to get out here. So what I've done, well, first of all, as you can see, the whole area has dried up a huge amount since we was last here. And what I did, these two holes, so the one here and one in the corner over there, they were both just full to the top of water and quite a bit of slop inside of them. So what I did on this one is I put in half a bag of grout, fast-acting grout that I happen to have in the shelf at home. Used that to sort of help set the slop that was in there, and mixed that up with the auger. Added a lot of mud to that mix as well, and sort of started packing that down. Put the post in, set the post at the right angle so it's true, so it's plumb, and packed in dirt around the post as best I could, knowing that in the future that grout should actually set quite solid. We'll see. I'm not 100% sure about that. I don't know what it's going to work like mixed with a lot of mud added to the grout. I'm not too sure yet, but it feels quite solid even though the surface is still very wet. And as I say, I did put in a lot of dirt in there, so normally I just pack these posts with back with soil anyway. Put the soil in and pack it back, so I've done that as well. So hopefully the post will set solid, but I'm not 100% certain. The one at the other end, again, I had a bag of cement that's been going off on the shelf, so I actually used half of that bag of cement. So again, the hole was full to the top with water, so I put in half a bag of cement, used the auger to mix it in the hole. And I got to say, with the mud in there, it started going off really quickly. I had just a few minutes to drop the post in and then start swinging on the post to try and push it down into the dirt, into the hole, sorry, before it actually started to set. This post now is really quite solid. There's still a bit of setting to do, but considering it was just watery slop before, it's certainly started to firm up into quite a thick paste. So I'm assuming in a few days, once that all dries out, that'll set pretty solid. Also did then, once I got those two corner posts in, so once the two corner posts was in, I then strung a line between the two, worked out where my posts are going to go. So that's actually the yellow locations, apart from the one in the middle there, which is an orange one. You can see I had a couple of attempts at getting that marked out. So basically the posts will run from the corner, so the beams will run from that corner to this post here, with a post in the middle that's actually going to support that beam and stop it buckling like the others did. Beam from here to this one, with one in the middle, and then the same on that side. So I'm going to get in the excavator now and auger these holes, and I'll show you what it looks like once I've done a couple. The reason I went and put the extension on the yellow mark was so that, exactly for this situation, once you've actually started augering, you lose your lines. So I can now see that that's off-centered just a tiny bit, but that's absolutely fine. The hole's twice as big as the post, so I'm well within tolerance. As you can see there, so I was augering down in that hole about a metre. And then when you actually look at what's in the hole, all that loose dirt there, there's only 500 mil, so there's a lot of loose dirt to take out. And I don't know if you can see in there, maybe too dark. That's a one at 1.5 meters. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, so as you've seen, we've finished augering all the holes. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gonna get the posts in those. It's now 6:30 at night. I might get a few done tonight before I finish, but yeah, I'll get a couple of string lines up and get a few posts put in and see how we go tonight. I'll get the time lapse going. Okay, I've got all those posts in. Not absolutely perfect, but not too bad when you look down the line there. Kind of within 20 mil down the line. That's good enough for what this is. So what I've also done is marked on the ground where the posts for the side rails need to go. So there's only going to be the ones at the end on this one. So one on this side, one over there. So I'll get the excavator now and we'll get those augered out. It's now 8 o'clock, so I've been 6:30 I started putting the posts in, so yeah, just over an hour and a half. So not bad going. Hopefully I'll get these holes augered and maybe get them put in, but maybe not tonight. But yeah, if I get them augered I'll be happy. And I'll have to pack up and head home. Well, let's get into it. Let's get these holes done and see how I go. Okay, so we've got 2 holes dug, and they're looking good, happy with it. And the second one here. So I think I'm just going to get the shovel. I'll clear the dirt around this hole, and then we'll call it a night, because I actually need to bring more timber down, and before I get any more timber down here I need to clear some space. I've got the trailer on the back of the car there. I'm going to actually struggle to, well, I'm not going to be able to turn it around in here, so I'm going to have to bring it down and disconnect the trailer and turn it around by hand. So yep, I think before I bring the next trailer load of wood down, I'll get the bucket on here and start clearing some of this out of the way, give myself a bit more working room. It's looking good, productive day. Very happy with all that. I'm glad this has started to dry out as well, because when I came down here the other day, about a week and a half ago, this was just thick slop. This here, what we're standing on, was literally sloppy mud when I was scooping it up with a bucket. It's gone very crispy now in the hot sun. Good morning, back at the land again today. So we finished these posts sort of just in the timeline about 3 days ago. Everything's still looking fine. We've had no more rain since then. These front posts look good. There's no more rain, no more water coming. So that's basically like a mud concrete. It's not set solid yet, but the post certainly feels, yeah, the post certainly feels solid in there. This was the one that I was concerned with. I think this was the one that was the loosest of the lot. Yeah, that's still very soft. And there's a bit of movement in the post. So what I'll do is today's little project is to get as many of these backboards in as I can get in. I'm only here for half a day today. As many of the backboards as I can get in, get them screwed in place. But until that post is set solid, I actually won't start doing any backfilling on this. Or perhaps I could start backfilling on this side where it is solid, but I certainly won't put any load on that post until it's until the post actually is secure in the ground, which might take another few weeks of warm weather for all that to dry out. So I've backed the trailer down. The trailer's full of all of the wood that we need for this. It's like a little forest in here. You can see there's all the pieces of timber, the 75mm thick, the 50mm thick, different lengths. So yeah, I think we'll get into this and try and get as much done as I can in a few hours that I've got. And these are for the front. Well, let's get started. So the idea being now, just put in this first row, the first one. I'm going to drop a string line over the top, see what it looks like on the other side so I can get an idea of level. I think I'm going to have to drop that first one down slightly, but we'll see in a second. So looking at that now, I think I'm going to take that one off and just drop it down 100mm, 150mm, drop it down so it's pretty much sort of touching in this area. I'll just have to dig out this here, and then that'll be better the whole way along then, I think. So let's take that one off, give it another try, a couple 100mm lower, and then I'll start putting all the others in from there. Okay, so much happier with that now. Lower down to the ground. I'll carry on, put the rest of the level 1 boards on, and we'll see what it looks like. Okay, so that's the first row in. When you put that in and you get the level on, you can actually see see how much lower it is at that end compared to this. Yeah, by the eye when you're here it looks pretty level. But that's fine because we can adjust that. We've still got space to get in with the excavator and take a bit more dirt out of this area. Okay, so I think what I'll do before I get many more boards in here, get the piece of timber in, because as you can see here, you've got that sort of 20 mil offset, the way the posts have gone. So in reality it's actually this post that's this way about 20 mil, because I'm screwing to this one. It actually brings this in this way. This one and the next one along are actually in line. So I'll put a piece in here, I'll undo the screw for this one and push this board back that way, and that'll fix this issue. We'll have a small gap here, but that's fine, because once you get a weight behind it, if we get any bending in this, it'll bend and touch that post anyway, so don't have an issue with that. Okay, let's get that beam in. Okay, so we've got this post in now, which will provide support to this beam. The other beam's in now. What I'll start to do is bring more of those beams in, start marking out where I'm going to be positioning them, and yeah, we'll get the next row in. This is all three beams on, as you can see, all secured in place. I also did a little bit of work with this post. When I pulled all the beams in, this post was out by quite a bit, so as you can see I just put a couple of notches in so that it would tighten up a little bit better. As you can see, it's not perfectly straight down there, but it's good enough for this. Couple more screws just to go and fix all the way home. I'm going to be calling it a day for today now. Need to pack up and head home. There's a good few hours work there, so that's pretty good. I'm quite happy with that. So when we come back next time, we'll take all these posts down and I'll cut the tin for the back. I'm going to do this a little bit different to last time. Last time I put the sides in, all the boards in, and then put the tin in, and I found that it was really difficult getting in to the floor area with the excavator and sort of tidying up, and difficult to bring the excavator all the way in to start the backfilling. So this time I'll do all of the back, put all the tin up, totally complete the back, and do some of the back, or most of the backfill, before I even start doing the sides. Okay, so some good progress again. I couldn't resist. I decided I didn't want to leave it with those posts sticking up and come back to it. So I just quickly whipped the top off. It looks so much better now. Yeah, happy to head off and come back in a couple of days.